For the final episode of Gintama, well, for this week at least, am I going to be able to contain myself? Is what we're going to see going to be on the up and up? Is it going to be the galactic battle that I've been waiting for? Or a collection of more shit jokes and the like? Well, since Gengai, the mechanic is still held captive, since the interplanetary bombardment is still charging up, there's still quite a few fights going on. One that is going to be quite involved for everyone that turns up. Are we going to see any more characters kind of buried neck deep into the mud, left for dead? Mentioned, but not given voice lines. Don't want to pay anyone. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Are you ready for some Gintama? Having the flashback segment, how they all came to be under his tutelage. How he brought together those that are of one soul and same willingness to take down the entire country. But of course, everything that we've seen of these characters so far, they can have their cool moments, they can have their time to be complete badass. But we know who they really are, what they're really like. How would you know it is truly unbreakable if you don't? But the thing is, how many machines and the like has Gengai made hidden out there? A way to stop the immediate destruction. Everyone needs to play their part, no one can really falter. And to think that all the while all of this stuff in the outside and in space is going on, we've still just got main battlefield warfare of clashing sword and steel together. It's going to be something very dumb at the centre of it. I don't think that is a like projectile or a cannon shot or anything. But what exactly could be at the centre of it? Still to be seen. With this opening being as a recollective, being no more flashy than it needs to be. Running up into the final, running up into the send-off for Gintama. Might be a good choice. And even if they did take everything from, like, Gengo's plan, got his bit to take down the nanomachines, are they able to actually make use of it? Got pulled in, yeah. It was a one-shot. One could be used at a time. And whose ship was it that came down then? And explosives, you say? The lesser of two evils, I guess. It's not over until the credits roll. I mean, they could, but they might get their boots dirty, so... And he's been holding it. How foolish. But for her to dash in and actually help out, well done. She ran away from the main front line. I mean, she's holding her own quite well against the other Yato, but with that difference in numbers there. Is there anything underneath that dust cloud there? No. Now, who could have delivered a such a swift kick as that to remove someone's head from their shoulders? One of the only few that you would actually be more fearful of than the enemies. Let's see if he can actually keep things together. Hold back some of his battle lust a little. Let's see if he keeps his arms throughout this one, though. And how will they feel about going head on now? And if this fight really worth it? How many more sides are going to come into this fray? Ha. They're having so much fun with this. There's no way that they could stay out of this one, not take some sort of glory and fight. Although, one of them seems as though it would be a lot more action, a lot more flashy than the other. A lot of just shooting lasers and waiting to see what on the screen explodes. They are little more than a stepping stone. What are you doing falling here? I mean, as long as he's ready for another round. He runs in the family. Why would he entrust it? Entrust it to him? Let's hope it's more than mere talk. They've made such a flashy entrance. They've been talking for quite a while, and they've stood back and allowed them to have this conversation. And he's getting rid of his cane. Oh. The classic of the little guy taking off his shirt and he's completely ripped. Turned young. Asphyxiate himself. I'm sure he has fun with that one. So there's, no matter how old he is, they will come out on top. His poor hat. I mean, getting a actual grasp on where he is, landing a blow when he can shrink and grow. He'll just, yep. Well, I was about to say maybe now she can attack from above. I mean, the fact that they can take this so lightly and fight amongst themselves shows how little they have respect for the elder. They're still ignoring him. Having their own... Pay attention to me! I'm trying to fight you! Now fight what? Through instinct and spirit alone. Let's not try to return to the times when both Kagura and Kamui lost themselves to the blood. Are you sure about that? Haven't really used it much before. Give her a moment. Just, I mean, it's not exactly like they're really all too worried. If they just use their animosity towards towards themselves, and he's caught in the middle, that poor old man. Let's hope he can revitalize certain aspects. I like how they're just playing pinball with his bollocks. Poor pixelation, man. Well, actually, it's also bad for my eyeballs, but... Apparently that's quite buoyant. To be fair, a big testicular sphere is less terrifying than an actual enemy like that. Standing strong, apparently. Ah. I mean, check his pulse. I mean, the fact that they still have the will to fight is respectful, especially if they've seen such testicular torture. It's just that there's only a few who he can have an actual spat with. Well, they've cleaned up their mess, so come to see how this one was doing. I mean, he has upset quite a few people, so I don't quite get that reference. And the fact that he has not really broken that character since being introduced, the happy, smiley, terrifying boy. I like it. Actually being able to have a bit of fun doing the whole... You can't really know where their aim is. Which means that we are in for a world of hurt. Even us as the audience. The only thing that they could really come down with be taken out by. Oh. They don't suffer cowards to live, apparently, so no retreat, no surrender. And when you have the organ playing, I wonder what my theme would play if I had music following me around. Well, he has made a very flashy fountain. Is it the planet itself reacting now, or just, I was assuming leaving the best food till last. Please don't tell me that, Condor's gonna have like a gamma burst transition mutation. We'll say though, that kind of firepower coming from underground, the planet itself being torn apart from the inside. Big blast from above, lots of internal hemorrhaging from below. Fighting on the surface. Yeah, it's looking good. Oh yeah, the carpenters. Are we going to see more from all of the little characters that are showing up here and now? But Gintama being the show that is, where we can still have that on screen, we can still have someone's half-hard cock pixelated on the screen after a big fight and defeat, and yet we still somewhat care for the story and the characters. If you're expecting a good fight, a classic tussle between superpowers, well, we're halfway there. We just have to wade through the rest of it first. And during. And after. We've seen ways of characters appearing into the storylines again, but having the full fanfare of the terrifying organ music, accompanied by a fountain red mist of blood, and a severe calmness, both in the ways that it sort of carries himself and his speech. Not many other big, scary bosses can really convey. Especially after being missing for so long. He's just been enjoying the carnage, dabbling and changing the ley lines, ensuring the planet's destruction. It really is one thing after another. Every time our characters seem to have calmed things down slightly, found a way to stave off destruction for another 5 minutes, actually, you got this other thing on the horizon. Pull your pants up, the fight's not over yet. Space battles galore and the like. Good thing we have so many characters that can really be spread out to help out on all fronts. Are there characters you want to see? Is there any characters that you want to have take part in these battles? With Utsura on the field, maybe not, but it would be good to see any nonetheless. With Gengai seemingly about to hand over the plans to stop the nanomachines. He's done well, hasn't he? Tricked them once again. Fooled you. They're explosive. Obviously, having Kamui back is one thing, but having Kamui, having Takasugi, and basically everyone that we were originally seeing as enemies, as reasons to be fearful, now on our side. That might be being a bit generous. At least not being actively aggressive against Gintoki and the others. Unless you're one of their sisters. Then everything should be okay. When the characters have arcs and storylines where we really get to see a full, fleshed out character. Doesn't have to be entirely through backstory or anything, just through their actions and how they interact. Isn't good to see, especially if these characters are insane. But if you two are a battle junkie, and you can't stay away any longer, let me know down below if you enjoyed Gintama, because, my god. I've been thinking it and saying it for a few episodes in this arc, but it's really going down now. Every time it's like, oh no, there's a big war going on, there's fighting on all fronts, things are looking dire. Next episode, it's looking a bit worse, a bit worse, okay, everything's turned up to 11. If you want to see more, make sure not to miss out. Consider subscribing to the channel, maybe even join my Discord, have a little bit of conversation before the inevitable end of Gintama. But right now, get yourselves a bit of rest, and I'll see you in the next one.